So let's assume that the marks are in place. For example, I can see here we only have 23%. However, it's recommended to have all the marks submitted, at least up to 95, between there at least. But just this using for demonstration, our most important student will collect their marks. So you can see 3%. So now the next thing we want to do, we want to generate the report cards. So generate report cards, I'll just simply come to the setting of the term report card here, and then I come here to edit. All right. So after clicking on edit, so this section is about mark setting, this section about marks displaying, this section is about examination marks submission. Now we have a section for report cards. So the section of report cards, I'll begin by giving the name of the report card. So this will be the title of the report card that I want to appear on top there. So if it is the end, you can come and change the word and make it end. So you modify the title that you want to appear up there, here. Then you select your grading scale. For example, if you want to use our grading scale, you have to click here, and then you remember our grading scale, we called it Tusome grading scale. You select it there, right? And then after selecting the grading scale, I can go ahead and generate the report cards. So to generate the report cards, you just simply come and say generate report card. I say yes. Okay, so after clicking on yes, it will give me a section of the classes that I want to generate report cards for. So I can go ahead and generate one by one. So I click on P4 only, I generate, and then I come back and generate for other classes. You can generate maybe for 2. So it's recommended at least you do maximum of 3 classes at once, because if you do many, the system can be actually slow, right? So let me do only for P4. I can do one at a time. Then I select here the mark that I want to include in the in the report cards. So if I want to include only mid of term marks only, I just simply say include the mid of term marks. I say yes only here. If I want to include beginning of term, I say yes here. I can say no here. So remember, we have only mid of term marks, right? At this moment, we have mid of term marks, and they're the one that we want to generate for. So I can just say mid of term. If I want to include both of mid and end, I can just say both of them here. So the report card will have both mid-term and end-of-term examination marks. All right. So if I want to include one, I can say I want only the report cards for mid-of-term only, something like that. If I want to include any end only, I do that. So I can say mid-of-term only. Then here we come to positioning. How do you want to position? So if I want to position using the average mark, I just say average mark. If I want to position using the specific mark, I'll just simply say use specific mark, and I select the term that the mark that I need to use for positioning. All right. So if I want to position using maybe the average of these, I just simply say average. So if I want to position using mid, I just say mid, something like that. So the system will follow the mid marks to create position of students. Then we go ahead and ask delete report cards for non-active students. So if I want to remove the non-active student report cards, we just say yes, and then it will delete the report cards of students who are not active for this particular term and this particular class. So maybe if the student left the school, they shouldn't be positioned with their zeros. So we go ahead and say generate class teacher's comment. If I want the comments for the class teacher to be generated, I just say yes. We don't want it to be generated, I say no. I generate the head teacher's comment, I say yes if I want to be generated, I say no if I don't want it to be generated. So how do you want to display the average marks on the report card? Like if we print 2 marks here and I want to display the column of average, I can say yes or no here. Generate positions. Do you want to generate the positions? I say yes. I say no, one of the two. So they go ahead and ask me, do you want to position students by class or by stream? So if I want to position by stream, I say yes. If I want to position by class, it's by class. Display position on the report card. So you can decide whether you want to display the position in report card through 3 different options. So you can say I want the system position to appear on the report card. So you say system generated position should appear on the report card. You select this one. Or I want to enter the report card position on report card manually by writing using a pen. I just simply click on this one if I want to write using a pen. If I want to display position, if I don't want to display position on the report card, let's say I don't want to display position in the report card. I just simply say no. All right, so the position section space will not appear on the report card. So select the one that you want. So if I want it to have a dashes, I just click here. If I want it to have positions that are coming from the system, I just simply click here. And then after doing so, I can go ahead and say I want to display to enable teachers to enter the comments. I want to display the comments on the report card. So if I want to display the one that's coming from the system, I say display the one that comes from the system-based comments. If I want the teachers to write using a pen on report card, you should just put the dashes and the teacher should write a pen. I just click here, manual plus teacher comments. So in this section, the teachers will be able to write using a what? Using a pen if I select this one, the comments. If I want the teachers to enter the comments using the system and the one that should appear there in the system, I just simply say yes. So display display other comments, right? So this is in case I want to display other comments. So the system gives ability for the sports person to comment. It gives ability for the school nurse to comment. It gives ability for the mentor to comment. So if those other comments, we call them others. So if I want to display all those other comments on the report card, I say yes. If I don't want to display them, I say no. So if I say yes, it means that the system will enable, will be able to display those comments of mentors, sports teacher, the school nurse. It will enable those comments to be displayed on the report card. So if you don't want those one to display, just say no. It will only display for the teacher, class teacher, and the head teacher. So let's say yes, and so it will happen. So this is about the display of report cards. Do you want to display school fees? If you say yes, the school fees balance, or you say no, the system will go ahead and do so. And if you want to maybe change the word beginning of term, you can change it from here. But it's recommended you leave those on how they are. Now here you can choose the template of the design of report card that you want to use. Here you can say, do you want to use custom header or not? Let me leave this one as no. So here you can put head teacher's communication. So the teacher can say next term begins. Next term begins. This one you can put in the bottom message. Next term begins and say maybe 01, or maybe you can say 1st December 2025. Can go ahead and bold it if I want to. So this is the bottom message. I will show you where it will appear. So this is the head teacher's comment. So I can put here maybe thank you for supporting the school and Leslie. So the head teacher can generally comment. This is just a communication. Like we'll go with the report card as a head teacher's communication, not comment, but the communication. So that is how you set the report card. Please try it out by yourself. Go through everything step by step. Don't skip anything. Then I can go ahead and submit. So it can generate for me the report cards. So when I submit, the system will process and generate the report cards for this student for this class that I will have selected here. So once I do that, it will again hide unless I want to generate again. I can again come and say generate report cards, and then I select a different class that I want. So generate report cards, where is it anyway? Report card, I say yes, I can go ahead and generate report cards for different classes that I want, right? So it means that it has generated for me the report cards. In case there is any change, I just simply come and edit. And just simply come here and edit and modify that change. If there's change in communication, just simply come and edit and modify the change in communication. So that's how we generate report cards. You can see the total report cards that we have here. There are 20 report cards that are being generated. If I want to see them, I just simply come here to student report cards. I'll be able to see those most latest report cards here. All right, so that's it for this session. So the next session, we should look at the report card comments. How do teachers comment on report card, and also how do we export the report card from the system? Let's do that in the next session. Thank you for watching.